They will pay for Satakar's wrath, Wayfarer. Unless you want to wade through an army of undead, go no further. The Ansei wards, stolen. Oh, Tuwaka will do the cleansing. For each direction the wind blows, there is a brazier. Light the first three, and meet me at the west brazier. I will light that one.
This is not good. Not good at all. I've killed a skeleton or two in my day, but this is worse than that. You? I'm pretty good with...
Do you understand why I am concerned? Some of the greatest heroes in history are buried here.
There is. I maintain vigil here to ensure that certain ancient heroes, let's just say, if they're raised, that's a problem. Thank you. This is no small thing, I ask, and I appreciate you stepping up. I'll mark the graves' locations on your map. I'd go with you, but I have to watch and ensure they don't slip by. There are other Ashaba who can join you, though. You want one skilled in swordplay, or one who's adept at restoration magic? Very smart. I've rarely seen her equal with a blade. There are many heroes buried here, to be sure. But these three are the ones Ashaba scholars are most concerned about.
Very soon, Uwaka says, Uwafa has sealed. Go now, and light. Oh, yes. We cannot forget, though. Of course. Oh, in the hands of these necromancers. Keeper of souls, hear the prayer of your humble servant. Your sacred grounds have been defiled. The rest of our ancestors have been disturbed. I ask you to send your sacred breath to cleanse the temple and give us your blessing to destroy the defiler. He has given his blessing. Go into the inner sanctum and kill Uwafa!
corruption in my ward is gone. But the other wards, you must find them.
I am very proud. Tuaka says that you smote this Uwafa mightily. Tuaka says you should not worry. He says you will find them. I do not know where the other Ansei wards have been taken. No, Tuaka is quiet now. He is not worried about you. There is a great scholar in Bergama. Her name is Zore. She knows much about the Ansei wards.
There's no need for me to ask whether the heroes had been raised when you found them. Then you fulfilled the duty of the Ashaba here, and saved me a...
Are you a pilgrim?
Zymel Hariz, I summon you. Wretched mortals.
You may be safer in the desert. You're heading the wrong way, Wayfarer. Just so you know, anyone with the sense the gods gave to a dog is leaving Bergama, or making preparations to do so. Politics. Always the problem here. The magistrate is a forebear, and the crowns say she's incompetent.
I see you there, but you must wait. A scholar's work is seldom urgent. But I have a request from the king himself. You did? It has occurred to me that... So now we just need to find the other two wards. My apprentice Shiri is traveling with Prince Azar, trying to find answers. But they need my research. It seems the power of the Ansei wards is somehow linked to their lives of the Ansei who created them. By learning about...
Here's the person that uncovered the plot against the king. Hail, hero!
Well?
This is getting to be absurd. How much longer must we pretend? My daughter wails in disappointment, and our two families verge on coming to blows. There's nothing to be done for it. The groom is not coming. We do not know. Kaznar may be among those who recently went missing. Or Tiela is like a dune ripper in a sandstorm. She buries her head to hide from the truth. I am most grateful for your help. Kaznar's brother Ine will be at his market stall. I hope he's not missing. But we must consider the possibility. Many people have disappeared. With a young man, the blood runs hot. He may have found another woman. For a crown to marry a forebear? And Sentinel, This may happen, but in Bergama, it is unheard of. Ha! Oh yes, I'm sure King Faharajad would like that very much.
Welcome to Bergama, Wayfarer. Kaznar? That's a sore subject. He's not? Well, I'll be a lizard's uncle. I guess our little talk may have convinced him after all. Damn. I don't know. I would have expected him to tell me if he had made such a decision. The more I think about it, the more this concerns me. If you find my... You must understand. I love my little brother, but he is so naive. He shouldn't associate with a crown girl, let alone marry her. Of course I do. But I cannot disrespect our father's memory.
Do you often just walk into people's houses and snoop around upstairs? If my cousin were here, he might not be so friendly. I don't know, maybe because there are armed thugs out there with orders to break my kneecaps if I try to leave? Ask Tiela's father. He's the one who hired them. Paid Uncle Thack to make sure I don't get to the wedding. Of course. He wants Tiela to think I stood her up. She'll hate me for the rest of her life and think he was right all along. Don't bother. If he went to this much trouble, he won't change his mind. If you really want to help, there's only one way. Uncle Thack and his gang run the streets here in Bergama. They're not above the law, but they can be dangerous. What?
Thank you for helping us, Wayfarer. Well...
Look at this. You walk in like you own the place. Like you fear absolutely nothing. Kaznar? Why doesn't Kaznar come talk to me himself? Slow down now. No need to be rude. Like I said, I'm a businessman. Truth, my people wouldn't have really hurt the kid anyways. Kaznar and Tiela make a nice couple. In fact, if you'll do me that favor we discussed, I'll have my men escort Kaznar right up to the altar. Get them a gift. Some hag's breath. It's an aphrodisiac. They might not be able to walk for a few days, but it'll make the wedding night unforgettable.
Hail, Wayfarer.
I'm so glad you made it in time. We are just about to begin the ceremony. Oh, goodness. Hag's breath. What a special gift.
People of Bergama, we are gathered here today to witness the bond of marriage between Kaznar and Tiel. Their union marks a great day for the citizens of Bergama, crowns and forebears alike. Their love is a testament to the kinship that all crowns and forebears share with each other.
I have to admit, when Uncle Thak's thugs came to the door...
Woo! Yes!
I am so happy I could walk on water.
My little boy's all grown up.
I can't believe we're here. Uncle Thak's getting soft in his old age.
Well,
I welcome you to Bergamo, Wayfarer. I hope you brought your gold. Our markets have goods of the finest quality, things you can find nowhere else. Not entirely, but they have certainly been blown out of proportion. Some people speak as if respectable citizens were disappearing left and right. Oh, that is very kind of you to offer. But my administration has a handle on the situation.
Pardon me. I would speak with you. Greetings, Wayfarer. Our fair city has always been a sanctuary for those traveling across the scorching sands of the Alakir Desert. I hope you find it so. I overheard you speaking to the magistrate. You expressed an interest in assisting with the investigation? Because I have withheld many of the facts. Magistrate? I do. My bailiffs and I are crowns. Duty requires we be impartial, but forebears do not trust us, and now our fellow crowns distrust us because we work for the magistrate. No one talks, so we have no leads on the disappearances. That is what I had hoped. Of course, neither forebears nor crowns will open up to a stranger, and in fact, you can't even enter their respective fellowship houses. I have a plan, though. You simply have to wear these dishdashas to disguise yourself. Yes. People get quiet when my bailiffs and I are around. Explore the city and listen. In particular, wear the disguises and visit Ragada's Respite and Ator's Oasis. I regret that political disagreements between crowns and forebears should impede a criminal investigation. Regardless of what he's told you, Magistrate, Ista and his bailiffs have made no progress in their investigation.
Honestly, I'm more worried about the withered hand than these disappearances, Councilman. We just have to give Ista more time.
I don't know. Bailiff Fakimal, the one who lives at the northwest edge of town, I heard he was ignoring evidence in the case.
We can't believe everything we hear. You have my word, though, if necessary. I will deal with Ista.
Be of service.
Welcome to the Bergama Crown Fellowship Hall. I do not recognize you, but I see you wear the formal dasha. I trust you are a crown from outside the city? Those who honor the ancient Yokudan traditions are always welcome here. Come inside and enjoy our hospitality.
Hurry now! Our brother Ista has not visited the Fellowship House much of late.
No, but one of the bailiffs was here. Believe it or not, the guards almost didn't let him in.
Truly? What possible reason would the guards have for keeping out a bailiff?
His crown Distasha was all shredded up. I suppose it happened when he arrested someone. I just gave him a new one.
Welcome to the Fellowship Hall. You're not from Bergama, though. Are you from Sentinel? No matter, as long as you're a forebear. Then you may come and go as you see fit. Would you like...
The person behind the disappearances is definitely a crown. No doubt about it.
Now that's low, even for you. How could you possibly know that?
Because there were shreds of a crown dish dasha left at one of the crime scenes.
Are the bailiffs covering that up? This is the first I've heard of it.
got a lot to do here.
Justice Ista, you are hereby found guilty of obstructing an investigation and conspiring against the people of Bergamo.
I do not know from where these charges originate, Magistrate, but I am innocent. You will see. The truth will come to light.
You will remain here until a thorough investigation has been completed. I am sorry, Ista.
Well, it seems my efforts to shield the Magistrate from security concerns have landed me in the stocks. The Magistrate says I impeded the investigation. Apparently, she went behind my back to conduct her own inquiries. What? How can this be true? Fakimal has been known to bend the law, but he always followed orders. Dead. The poor boy. I don't understand. You're saying he was killing people under orders? That looks like Sulma's key. And this would explain why she put me in the stocks. May I request one last favor, then? The Magistrate...
Come on, you dogs. We need to get this load of bodies out of here. Al-Hassan is waiting. you doing down there? You saw, didn't you? So now you know my dark secret. It must be horrifying. I haven't been able to bring myself to go down there since this began. I just gave Fakimal a key. Do you understand, though? Do you realize why this is necessary? Yes, there is no other way. Do you understand the power of the Withered Hand? King Faharajad, the Ashaba, they cannot stop them. Eventually the Hand would have come here and killed everyone. It was the only deal Alasan would accept. It seems terrible, but we're only killing vagrants, criminals. To save the city, that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Let me finish this. It's only a few more corpses. Will you keep my secret? If that's your choice, I will turn myself in. There's no point in trying to deny my crimes. Mark my words, though, Wayfarer.
Stop this violence at once.
There you... I'm afraid you're... He is at the shipyards town of Tom. Oh, and Scholar Zora wants her apprentice, Tava's Blessing is where the Royal Navy has its shipyards. The ships being built at the Tava's Blessing shipyards are critical for the Covenant.
Sharing the evidence you discovered at Fakimal's house, I was able to convince the other bailiffs to release me from the stock. That must have been quite a grisly scene. All right. I have witnessed many dark crimes in my time as justice, but they pale. A noble notion, I suppose, but nothing can justify the murder of innocents. She...
Please, take a look at what I...
New students arrive each day, it seems.
is like a prayer to me. The plan is in place. You are but an inconvenience.
It is an honor to meet you. Prince Azar, thank you for bringing me this message, albeit the...
I heard the commotion out there. You are the one who fights the Withered Hand. I heard the commotion out there. And that fiend Alasan is here. With Uwaf. He has corrupted one of the Anse wards. He's using some kind of necromant... I believe it's best to just... When we arrived, the necromancers had already killed everyone. We snuck up to spy on them, and I saw Alasan. Yes, he and Uwafa both. My father sent me here because he feared the Withered Hand might target our navy. I don't think that's why they came, though. It seems that many centuries ago, this was the home of one of the Anse who sacrificed themselves to create them. I suspect it has something to do with Alasan's plan to become a lich. Not good, I'm afraid. Rumors about the Anse wards being stolen run rampant, and every day there are new reports of risen dead. The crowns and some forebears are calling...
Irresponsible. Finally! Someone who's not running the other direction. Only the most important military advancement in the Second Era? The workers ran and just left them on the ships. The Covenant's pride? Rancer's regret? The Belle of Baal Fiera? I'm glad there are a few of us left who know the meaning of courage and loyalty.
sumac take you, Covenant filth, you... These... Of course you are. Those Swits weren't smart enough to get these before they fled, and I knew that. I planned this perfectly. I stole the designs fairly, and by rights, they should be
I
mine.
do.
And as much as it shames me, I am going to beg you to let me keep them. Where I come from, Morrowind, I work for House Telvanni. You should know that the Ebonheart Pact is as much my enemy as it is yours. You should also know House Telvanni does a great deal of trade by sea. These designs, the reinforced hulls, would make our ships invincible. I cannot delay here any longer. I beseech you, for my children's sake, let me take the design. You are generous. More generous than I dared hope. And I am grateful. Oh.
You've come too late! The ritual has begun, and you cannot strike me down! You are the one who killed my brother Uafa, are you not? I will grant that you are likely a formidable foe. The ritual has begun, and I am already bound to the Anse...
You broke the Anse ward. You think that will stop me? I am not finished.
After so many centuries, it is a wonder I can still be surprised. I could not abide the necromancer corrupting my ward, but I was powerless to stop him. Shattering the blade was the only way, albeit there were consequences. Necromantic energy was released, causing... No, he cannot be slain now. There is a way, but I am fading. We need the gods' favor. For Tava, capture the desert wind. For Morwa, get the milk of a goat. And for Zet, gather the earth from a fallen warrior's grave. With these elements, reforge the blade.
You are undone by your own heroics, dog. I may not be a lich, but I have an army of undead.
What? Golly. Well...
You will die. You will die, and then you will join my army. Long enough. It is time to end this.
Yes, the time has come to end this evil.
What are you doing here? Your ward is broken, Ansei. You are no threat to me.
Now, take the ward and use it to trap Alasan.
What are you doing? No!
I feared that after all these years, my sacrifice would prove to be of no avail. But you performed admirably. He became some kind of specter, and he bound himself to my ward. But that allowed me to imprison him within it. He is contained now. I sense that the third ward is in the greatest peril of all. The sibling of the necromancer who came here is far more skilled in the dark arts, far more dangerous, and far more ambitious. The sibling I speak of has not been slain, and has possession of the third Ansei ward, but I cannot sense its location. I do not know, but trust your destiny, for it will lead you where you need to be. First, though...
What foulness is afoot now? The dead have risen? I thought Alasan was purposefully not raising them. He's not? Oh, we should rejoice then! That bastard! I relish the knowledge of his defeat. And you brought it to me? That's quite an honor. I promise you, for as long as I live, will not fall into enemy hands again. Another sibling? But who could that be? Wait, Satura did have another child, a very young daughter. I remember her now, nipping at her brother's heels.
I think I know where to find the third Ansei ward. It seems the necromancer Alasan underestimated you. I was hiding outside the lighthouse. After you disrupted the ritual, I went in and found Alasan's notes. I think I know where the Withered Hand has taken the third Ansei ward. Hunding's Watch. The Withered Hand is seeking out the birthplaces of the Ansei who forged the wards. Just as Alasan did here, they can use these locations to corrupt the wards. I am sure of nothing, but this is my suggestion for where you should begin your search. Since both Alasan and Uwatha have been dealt with, the Withered Hand may be considerably weakened. Perhaps the third Ansei ward is closer at hand than you realize. Yes, and he passed along your message. Though I'd much prefer to stay here, I will return to Master Zoré in Bergama shortly. I could spend hours telling you about the role the third ward has played in history, but I would only put you to sleep. Don't you? You foiled their plans here and at Tuwaka's throne. You defeated both Uwatha and Alasan. I would imagine the Withered Hand is in considerable disarray.
It is good to see you again, my friend. Now I understand why Tuwaka bid me to come. Yes, many of them. And pilgrims come from all over Hammerfell to honor them, to teach you. If you are to be champion of the Alakir, you must understand the spirit of this desert and its people. First, you will face the Nidic peoples. When the Regatta first crashed on these shores, the Needs were first to challenge them. Yes, my friend, albeit slowly. Not all heed Tuwaka's words as I do.
Satakar was the first serpent. The first. Shiri? I do not know this name, nor do I know anything about any Ansei ward. I know only that Satakal will soon devour himself.
I'm hurt. Can you help me?
You're not welcome here. We will defend our land.
In our fight against the Needs, we saw the raw power of defiance. Such things are difficult to imagine, yes. In those times, goblins were mighty beasts. Horrible indeed. Our Yokudan ancestors could not... Tuaka claimed him during one of the... The Song of Divad tells us that he and his band of sword singers worked their sacred forges and consulted. Well, Tuaka tells me that you must do battle. Ironically, it was in our fight against the hideous goblins. It is the heart of Orkdom in Tamriel. Conquerors is a strong word. You must face the ancient Orcish specters in battle.
Not welcome here. We will defend our land.
The swords of Yukuda were not often sheathed. The swords of Yukuda were not often sheathed. A long siege of Orsinium taught us that he was the king of Daggerfall during the siege of Orsinium. You must slay the perfidious spirits of King.
Guard, you served your purpose. Now you will die.
Dwal's betrayal taught us yet another virtue. Caution. Wariness. The greatest lesson of Hundig's watch is your valor strikes a mighty bell. The heroes, no. You will not cross blades. The sword singers were as much mages as warriors.
The blades are forbidden. We must not use them.
Without them, our people, our civilization will die.
Taking up those blades may lead to something far worse than death.
All choices exact a toll, Wayfarer. Some are trivial, but some linger for generations. I was forced to drink from a bitter cup in my time, and all Redguards have paid the price. Giant goblins, beasts thought conquered by Divad, have returned. The fight goes poorly. You know the location of powerful magicked blades. They are dangerous. They were hidden for a reason. Do you seek out the blades, or fight on without them? I acted as you would. We chose the blades and destroyed the beasts. But as a result, the Shahai, or spirit swords, were forever destroyed. Centuries of wondrous tradition was snuffed out. I must bear that weight always. A single decision can define a civilization. Think hard on your legacy, Wayfarer. For even small choices can have great consequences.
The goblins approach, my lord. They will slaughter our scouts.
We must hold this pass or the war is lost. Their sacrifice will be remembered always.
Many of our noblest warriors will be slain. How can you turn your back to them?
A goat will run if you strike it. A jackal may bite if you give chase. Only man can choose to do nothing. The path of restraint is often the hardest. I pose to you a question, one that still haunts me. You are a scout for a great army, perched on a mountainside. In the pass below, a band of enemy soldiers slowly approach the position of your dearest friend. Do you abandon your post to help your friend, or do you remain hidden to report the attack? Yes, your friend may die if you do not render aid. But if you fail to report the assault, is not the entire army put at risk? How many men could lose their lives for this one soldier? One's loyalties are truly put to the test. To act, to not act. Each is a choice.
We must consider negotiation, my son.
To the dogs with that! Hira has killed my mother. He killed your wife.
What you say is true. But many more wives and sisters will die if we take up the sword.
This cave has made a coward of you. We must fight!
To choose for oneself is simple. To choose for a nation is hard. The heaviest blade is as a feather compared to the trust of one's people. A tyrant threatens your people. If you submit to him and become his willing thrall, your people will be shown mercy. If you attack, you and your people will be driven from your homeland and exiled to the sea. What do you do? Submission would have brought peace, yes, but at what cost? All that Yokuda was and is finds its source in the blade. We could not waver. Even so, there is always cost. I chose the sword. Many and many were lost. Was this the greater good?
I spent my early years as a maiden of the spirit. As early as I remember. Great heroes often carry the greatest regrets. They lie buried in the sand with the bones and broken blades, hidden, forgotten. I had many stories to pass on, but only one is known. Hearken to me. You have won a great battle and covered yourself in glory. But you are gravely wounded. A magical memory stone will allow you to record your last thoughts. Do you think of the battle recording history? Or do you immortalize your beloved family? The battle was important, yes. But is love not also worthy of remembrance? I thought of my training and the details of the battle, but as I turned my thoughts to family, death silenced me. Now they are forgotten, lost for all time.
Tuwaka tells me the heroic spirits have returned to their slumber. Ah, only Tuwaka has such knowledge, my friend. I could barely hear you from here. Luckily, you walk the narrow path that cuts between glory and sacrifice, valor and patience. You measure your pursuit of honor with reason and foresight. To see all ends is a gift only Tuwaka possesses. But to walk in his footsteps is wise indeed. What? No! I simply thought you'd like to know what Tuwaka thought of you. He is an excellent judge of character. No. The real lesson of these heroes is that legend always carries a price. Tuwaka extends his hand. You need only enter the portal, and you will be transported back to the desert below.
Please, tell me you have seen her. Shiri, the scholar's apprentice. Have you seen her? She had the ancient text from the Withered Hand necromancer at Tava's Blessing. She was supposed to go back to Bergama, but she never made it. We knew Shiri believed the Third Ward was here, and that you came this way, so we were hoping. It is not just Shiri. It is the text she found at Tava's Blessing. Scholar Zore says it must be kept away from the Withered Hand. Thank you, my friend. Prince Azah said you were indispensable. I now see why. I was beset by many troubles on the journey from Tava's Blessing. Scorpions, Dune Rippers, and then, not far from here... Yes. Yes, I just need time to rest, to eat, and to properly bandage my wounds. I do not know, but it is all we have to go on. Scholar Zore was almost certain Shiri would have come here. She needs to take that text she found in Tava's Blessing and bring it back to Zore, and I was beset by...